Hey guys, welcome to the Superhero Cut Show where we're talking about things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. It's your boy Stevie Hayes. Please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you know when we post. So, Penguin episode 1 dropped. What a great episode. I can't wait to just break it down scene by scene, tell you some things I've seen, some theories I have regarding this episode and the next episode. So, let's get right into it. So, the show opens up with the iconic Batman theme, and they are talking on the news about Falcone's arrest and about the explosions. We then see from Penguin's point of view, kind of, Batman saving Gotham, and we also see the aftermath of the flood and the massive, explosions. They are building the idea that Falcone's death has made the city a complete mess. We also see that Alberto Falcone is going to be taking his father's place as the guy. And we see Penguin, pull up in his car and he takes out a hammer and he takes that out of his trunk. He also uses a umbrella when he's walking into his club, and I think that was to pay homage to the Penguin. He always has a umbrella on him, and he also has that iconic wobble walk. So he goes inside his club and he walks upstairs into the main office. He walks up to a metal wall and he starts hammering at it. Penguin then opens it up, and we see files on a bunch of people, and obviously it's leverage on powerful people that are public faces in the city, and these photos were a guy cheating on probably his wife. We then see Alberto pull up on Penguin, and he pulls a gun on him. And Penguin, they end up having a conversation, and Penguin says congrats to Alberto, and he was kind of giving him some encouragement on filling this new position as the head honcho now. Alberto said he has a deal going on, and he's trying, he's just trying to keep focused on it. And you can tell he is really stressed out about being the new kingpin of Gotham. And they end up sharing drinks, and he asked to help on the deal. And we see that Alberto is basically trying to bring a new drug to the streets, and he's trying to keep it a secret until it is ready to go, because he thinks that this is going to change the game for Gotham, and that this is going to put the Falcone family 10 times even richer than they are now. And Alberto also told him that, he knew that, Penguin was taking money from the business as well, just to kind of show Penguin like, yo, like, bro, I know what you were doing. And he said that, and Alberto said that his dad didn't care that Penguin was taking bread from the company because it wasn't, doing too much. And he knew that he had to keep Penguin satisfied in order for him to be the best soldier for him. Right. So then, Penguin ends up telling this story about a gangster who was honored in his neighborhood. And then Alberto just roasts Penguin, basically saying like, you will never be that. No one will ever look at you as, as an amazing person. And Penguin just shoots and kills Alberto Falcone. And like right after that moment, he realizes what he's done and he is salty. He is like, bro, why did I do this? He then zips up his body. And at first, I thought, he chopped his body into small pieces, but that's obviously not the case at all. He then sees kids trying to steal rims off of his car. And then, Oswald, as he's wild, he starts shooting at them. He puts a gun to one of the kids' head, and this kid starts crying and stuttering. And we found out that this kid's name is Victor Aguilar. Now, also, just to make sure that we are all on the same page, Victor Aguilar is not in the Batman canon or lore. He was created for this show, so there's no real origin story on Victor if you're trying to do some extra research. And so now, like, basically, we see Victor and the Penguin carrying the body of Alberto Falcone into Penguin trunk. So now Victor works for Penguin, and they are in a car. Penguin is directing him to a place, and while they're driving, Penguin is going through Alberto's phone, and then he goes through Alberto's calendar and he screenshots his calendar, probably to see when he's meeting up with the new dealers for this new drug. He's probably going to try to intercept that. We also find out that Penguin and Victor are from the same neighborhood. Okay. And then we see them pull up to an apartment complex. And we also get to see a close up on the metal bar on Penguin's, leg when he's walking up, because, obviously he has a limp. Right. And so we meet, one of Penguin's, prostitute girls that, he probably, goes over there like a lot. And, we don't really know who this female is, except for her name is Eve, and he gives her some bread, and then they shut the door, and that's it. So now we go to we go to this random junkyard that they're in, and they're burning these two, plastic bags. So then Penguin and Victor were sitting down, and then the Penguin saw, these rims, and he was like, bro, you could have stole these, and instead of stealing trying to steal them off of my car, like, you wouldn't be in this situation if you didn't try to do that. So then he basically tells Victor, he has no ambition at all. And so apparently they weren't burning the body, because at first, I thought they cut Alberto's body into pieces, but they're not. They dragged Alberto's dead body into a junk car, and we then see Penguin give Victor a cigar to smoke, and he tells Victor that that he thought about basically killing him, because he just wants to keep the evidence of Alberto's death between just him, right? But Victor obviously talks Penguin off of the ledge, and he promises his allegiance to him. So Penguin's like, okay, cool, you're with me, but he obviously gives him a threat that obviously if he crosses him, he'll die. And so we then get to go to Penguin's spot, his place. Penguin then shuts the door to get some shut eye, because he's been up for a while, and we then see Victor kind of looking around and looking around Penguin's house, and we get a look at Penguin's feet, and it is disgusting, but obviously it makes sense. He's the Penguin, he has a limp walk, obviously his foot is going to be jacked up. He then looks at Alberto Falcone's ring and puts it away. Now, Alberto Falcone's ring, right? That is a Maroni ring. All right. We're going to get into the Maronis later on in this breakdown, but just keep that in your mind. We then see Victor and Penguin riding around in Gotham. Penguin and Victor walk into this drug warehouse. This is obviously one of the hub spots that they have, where they're putting out drugs, making millions of dollars, and this is obviously a Falcone operation, but Penguin runs that operation over there in Gotham City. So he is so basically he has a piece of mail, because he's trying to blackmail Councilman Haiti, and that was the guy who had pictures taken of him having an affair, thing that Penguin did in the beginning of the episode. So and then Penguin also gets news that their stash was stolen, okay, which is a big loss for the Falcones, and it's just not good news at all. And we then see that the guy that works at the warehouse, he was like, yo, Penguin, the family wants to talk to you. So basically the family ends up calling him in. Now, if you have watched any mob show before, like, if you're called in, you can be called in for anything, and that's what Penguin basically said. He was like, I don't know why I'm being called in, but we'll see what happens. So we see that the family lives in a manor outside of Gotham City. It is beautiful, a nice little mansion joint. So the news is that Penguin is told is that the operation that he runs in Gotham City is being shut down, and that their operations is getting moved to Robbinsville. And they want to move the operation because the police is really active right now in Gotham City, following the whole Batman like ordeal, and they don't want to risk getting caught and losing everything. And Penguin tries to talk to him off of the ledge, but it doesn't work. And then Penguin talks about this new drug that Alberto talked about, and he's saying, like, this will help us expand and we'll be richer than you've ever thought. But little does Oswald know that while he's talking this, we see a woman in a white dress standing behind him the whole time. And we end up finally seeing Sophia Falcone. Now, Sophia then asks Penguin, has he heard from Alberto? And Penguin is, the Penguin doesn't answer, but the Falcone family tells Penguin, like, yo, we need you to shut up. We need you to shut down these operations in Gotham in the next 2 days. So, Penguin obviously is tight. He's mad, and he walks out, but then Sophia follows him, and she tells him, she meets him at his car. And so then she asked him again. She's like, yo, did you see Alberto? Penguin obviously lied about it. And Sophia then, started inspecting his car, and she saw that a bullet was on the back of the car. And obviously she's like, yo, your car's purple. Yeah, obviously. And then she invited him to go out to eat. So they were eating, and Sophia is eating her brains out, which should have been sign number one to me that she's insane, but it just wasn't hitting at the moment. So Sophia says that, she's like, yo, like, people are staring at me because I'm a psycho killer. And, people in the restaurant were looking at her crazy, because if you don't know, which I didn't know until just now, Sophia was an Arkham patient. So she was nuts. Sophia started pressing Penguin because she heard that he mentioned this new business deal, right? And, basically, he was saying that this thing was going to revolutionize the drug business in Gotham. But here's the thing. Sophia and Alberto had a secret about that. And she's like, so how do you know that? So she's trying to put the pieces together about what's going on. And Sophia then asks Penguin again, does he know where her brother is? And Penguin, the smart man he is, he makes it seem like Alberto told him behind her back. And he then said that, and then Oswald lied again, said that he was with Eve last night, which is why he paid Eve for her for her to hold it down and have proof that, he was with her getting it on. So they then finish up their meal. Oswald gets on a train with Victor. So we see that they took a trip up to Urban Grove, which is probably somewhere in Gotham, probably like this. It looked like a suburban part of Gotham, and they pull up to like an old school house, and it's actually his mom's house. He goes to go see his mom, and he gives her mom the necklace Alberto gave him in the beginning of the episode. He then grabs a bag of cash and tells his mom that they are going to leave town for a while. And then Penguin told his mom that he killed Alberto and that Sophia is out of Arkham and that she is getting on to him. That it's getting hot. And then Penguin's mom asked, like, why did you shoot him? And Penguin tells his mom, I shot him because, Alberto laughed at me, which when you hear that, it just sounds the same. But his mom, instead of saying, okay, let's run away, she eggs on his motivations and his ambitions and tells him that the city is meant to be his. And so now she has awoken the savage. Like, now he has every reason to go and try to wreck and take over Gotham. So, and also at this point in the show, right? This is what I was thinking. I was like, yo, Sophia right now is definitely going to raid Penguin's house and she's going to find Alberto's ring in his room. But then this next scene was like, okay, this just answered my question, which is why I think this show is genius. So he then hears this song called Blame on Mame, okay? And basically he explained what it was to Victor because Victor asked him, what does that mean? And basically Penguin was like, yeah, like this means, that you have to find a scapegoat, and this basically told the theme for what he's going to do with the next film, but it doesn't come all together until the end of the episode. So now, blame on the Mame was obviously hinting that he was going to blame someone. Makes sense, right? So Penguin then tells Victor he knows that his home got destroyed, and basically all of the stuff that happened in the Batman 1, right? Basically, Victor's home is one of the homes that got just annihilated in the Batman 1 when all that stuff was going down. And Penguin just asked Victor, like, he was like, bro, can I count on you? I want you to be a part of what I'm doing. And Victor says yes. And we then see Penguin go to jail to visit somebody. And the person that he visited is named Sal. Now, Sal is Salvatore Maroni, and he's one of the biggest gangsters next to the Falcons. Okay. So Gotham hierarchy over here. So Penguin then tells Sal that he's done with the Falcons. He tells Sal that he wants them to basically steal all of the product that he had going on at his operation that the Falcons want him to shut down so they can sell it and basically they can split the profits of that. So he can eat off of that profit while he's moving operations. You know what I'm saying? So he also says to Sal that he's ready to turn on the Falcons now. And Sal says no because of the fact, that Penguin has done him dirty in the past, and Penguin then says that, he is going to see Sal later, but Sal doesn't want to see him. Sal's like, dude, like, I don't want to see you again. You've done me crazy before. Like, I already know that you play dirty. I don't want to get into business with you. So then Penguin does something very interesting. He gives Salvatore Maroni his ring back, which we all know that Alberto was wearing the Maroni ring. Okay, so power play, because this is going to mean something towards the end of this breakdown. So then Penguin pulls up to his house, and we see that Sophia sees, and we see that Sophia Falcone and her henchmen just raided his house. Just like I said before, I was like, I know this is happening. And so now, because this idiot has a plum car, she's literally looking at him like, you can't be low key when you have a freaking plum car. What an idiot. So basically, he drives away fast, and he then walks into like a disaster recovery, or he pulls up right in front of a disaster recovery center, right? And so me, while watching this, I thought that Penguin was like trying to walk in there to try to get lost in the crowd, but Penguin doesn't do that. The henchmen go into the disaster recovery center crowd to see if he was in there, but he was hiding in his trunk, which is, Penguin smart. And so he got out of his trunk, and then he walks back into his car. But one of the henchmen pulls a gun on him, and then Penguin basically gives him the beats. He takes out his air freshener, stabs him in the neck, and then one of the henchmen gets hit by a bus. And then one of the other henchmen pulls up out of nowhere. Penguin gets knocked out. We then see him wake up, and he's sitting in like a garden, and he's getting tortured. And Sophia is kind of like, because she's insane. She's telling this insane story about how she was when she was in Arkham, and how Berto would always come and visit her. And Penguin is butt naked in this chair. And she then found one of the kids who tried to steal the rims off his car. And basically, I'm pretty sure the kid said that he saw Penguin's car in front of the club because Penguin and so she was thinking that he is linked to Alberto going missing. Penguin says that the teenager is lying, and then Sophia shoots the freaking teenager. And Penguin then gets barbed wire tied to his arms, so he's screaming. And she's like, "I need answers." He's literally, and then she is then asking him, she's like, "Am I crazy for thinking that you did something to freaking Alberto?" And we then hear a car crash onto the Falcone estate. And it is the car that Penguin and Victor put her brother's dead body in. The trunk said, like when you pull it up, it says payback. And it had Alberto's dead body in there. And all you hear is Sophia Falcone screaming. And that saves the Penguin from getting caught up. So just to give context, that was Victor who sent the car. That was their whole plan. That if he got caught, they would, go that way. Which also makes sense why Penguin gave Sal the ring, because now it makes it seem like Salvatore Maroni ordered the kill. And look, Salvatore's not going to like push the credit to Penguin because it's going to make him popular. It's going to make him one of the dudes on the freaking market now. I mean, Penguin just put Salvatore Maroni and the Maroni family on the map, which is smart. So we then see Victor and Penguin have a moment of Penguin's like, "Yo, I want you to win on the future of what I'm trying to do." And Victor agrees, and then the episode ends. Okay, so here's my thoughts on the show. I think that this first episode was great. I'm not going to hold you, right? I wasn't too excited for this show because, I'm just not a fan of villain-led stuff. I'm like, there's no Batman. Like, how am I going to enjoy this? And I was proved wrong. I really enjoyed this show. I think Victor is a really good add to this show. But Colin Farrell, man, this dude needs to win some awards for playing his role of Penguin. I forgot that Colin Farrell is even an actor. That's how good he freaking is, man. This dude is so talented in the mob accent and the way he's acting his role, the way he's hobbling. I mean, this is picture perfect. So, and not to mention, dude, Sophia Falcone, man, she is freaking scary, bro. She is nuts. And this actress, she is playing Sophia Falcone perfect. I mean, this episode was perfect. I mean, this episode was great. So I can't wait to see episode 2 on I think next Sunday, and just keep this going, man. But shout out to Penguin. This is a great show, and I'm excited to see where the season ends. So I'm probably gonna put another video about where Batman is because he's not there, and I have some theories on where he is. And we're gonna get to some more stuff in this show that was mentioned, because I do want to go a little deeper on some of these, Easter eggs and things that popped up in the show. But this is just the breakdown. I hope you guys liked it. Please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, and peace out.